Hey guys, I'm Mythic and welcome to this quick start guide for the first part of Tazavesh. The Streets of Wonder is the first of the 2 Mythic Plus sections of Tazavesh, and it covers the first 5 bosses of the instance. So let's get right into it. The first boss is Zofax the Sentinel. The first thing you need to do is to get out of the swirling swords when he throws them to you with armed security. Up next, when he has rotary body armor up, you need to DPS him from a side that doesn't have the shield, so your attacks aren't evaded. When impound contraband is cast on you, you will be disarmed and your weapon thrown to the floor. Run over your weapon to retrieve it and get a 6-second haste buff. And lastly, when you are targeted by interrogation, run away from the boss. He will put you into a prison that needs to be DPS down by the others. If he reaches you before the prison has been killed, you will be killed instead. The next boss you'll face is the Mythic Oasis encounter. The gimmick here is that you each click an instrument to play and use the extra action button to slide over musical notes on the ground. Doing this will grant you a buff. While you do that, you will go through 2 ad phases before a final boss phase. During the ad phase, there's not much to worry about. Simply dodge the rotten food swirls on the floor and interrupt menacing shouts so that your spellcasters aren't interrupted. During the boss phase, continue to interrupt menacing shout. When he casts Suppression Spark, he will pull you in, so move away from the boss and spread out so you don't damage each other. Finally, when the boss casts Crowd Control, do not be in front of him as it does a conal attack. The third fight you'll encounter is the Postmaster. Soak the purple swirls on the ground to prevent hazardous liquids puddles from spawning on the floor. When someone gets targeted by money order, group up to share the damage. And the last and most important part of this encounter is unstable goods. Bombs will spawn on the floor that you need to pick up. You need to throw these into the active bomb chute to get rid of them. If the timer expires or if you throw goods back on the floor, it will explode, dealing a lot of damage to your entire group. There are 4 bomb chutes in the room that you can see marked in this video, and only one will be open at a time. So pay attention to the air shooting up animation, that is the one you need to throw to. On a final note, movement abilities like disengage work while you carry the package. Up next is the Menagerie Council fight. You'll fight a total of 3 bosses, and the next boss will join the fight after some roleplay after a boss reaches 40% health. Each boss has an ability that lasts the entire encounter, even when they're dead. The first is a devourer called Alcrux. 2 of his abilities can be reduced to move away from him when he pulls you in and dodge the swirls on the ground. His third ability is one you need to be aware of for the entire fight. Gluttony will put a debuff on one person and deal damage to anyone within 5 yards. However, whoever has this debuff will also absorb anima orbs. When absorbing these orbs, you will gain a stacking damage buff. These orbs of volatile anima will start spawning when Acolyte comes down and uses Venting Protocol to spawn them from his body. Move away from them unless you have the Gluttony debuff. Additionally, Acolyte also has a shield that needs to be dispelled or DPS down, and once it's down, interrupt is cast. With Purification Protocol, Acolyte will also introduce large AoE swirls on players that need to move away from the group. Finally, when Venza Goldfuse joins the fight, there are 2 final abilities to deal with. First off, you need to move away from her when she casts Whirling Annihilation. And lastly, when someone is put into a prison by Chains of Damnation, DPS the prison to get them out of it. The final encounter of this Tazavesh wing is Somi. During the encounter, he will split up the room with barriers, eventually dividing it into 4 sections. You can travel between the sections by walking through the teleporters. The square teleporter will teleport you to the other square, and the same applies to the triangle and circle. You will need the teleporters to travel to the boss when he teleports, and to dodge his first ability called Suri. He will spawn an expanding ring on the ground. If you get hit by the edge of the ring, you'll take massive damage. So use the teleporters to teleport to the center of the ring. Other than that, the boss will charge to a player with Quick Blade and leave a bleed on anyone who is in the way. And finally, the last thing you need to worry about is double technique. This will need to be interrupted twice in a row. Not getting hit by Suri is the main threat to you, and you need to handle it properly by using the teleporters. And that's all there is to the Streets of Wonder. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe, it'll really help me out. For now, I'm Mezzy and I'll see you again next time.